So this is chapter 2 from Revealed Truth, and the chapter is called Heart-to-Heart Transmission. Question: we hear that all truth is present in the scriptures, specifically Srimad Bhagavatam, but how do we know when we are supposed to take the expressions in the scriptures literally or figuratively? How do we understand what the scriptures are really trying to say? Srila Govinda Maharaj. How will we understand anything about the scriptures? We must first enter into a school. When we are admitted into a school, we are given appropriate lessons for our level by our teacher. When I'm studying in a school, I pass through class 1 to class 2. Then to class 3, and so on. In each class, what I am taught is not exactly the same. Each higher class does not present everything in the same way as the previous classes do. But whatever I learn in each class is appropriate and beneficial for me at my level. The Vedas, Vedanta, Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam, and other scriptures are an ocean, and they contain so many verses, which have many different meanings. Ultimately, they are all guiding us towards the same goal, Krishna Bhakti. But we are not always able to understand that. Sometimes it is very difficult to see that actually. Many different practicing processes are explained in the various scriptures: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Astanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and others. If we want to understand the real advice of all the scriptures, if we want to understand where the scriptures' knowledge is trying to take our consciousness, then it is first necessary to faithfully study the scriptural lessons that are appropriate for us in a school, under the guidance of a proper teacher. That is the best process. We must be very conscious about reading the scriptures. The scriptures are not the easiest thing to understand. Srimad Bhagavad Gita explains how a student should approach a teacher to learn spiritual knowledge. Tat vidi pranipatena pariprashneta sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Here it is explained that the student must be a little qualified to approach a teacher. Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, first be surrendered, then inquire and serve your guru, will want to hear your questions and bestow his mercy upon you, if you are really surrendered to him. You are humble and you have real hankering. First approach Guru through surrender, then serve him. Surrender alone is not sufficient. Surrendered service to Gurudev is the main thing. That will give the sincere seeker the proper result in his search for transcendental knowledge. Someone may acquire general knowledge in other ways, but without pranipat, surrender, pariprashna, sincere inquiry, and seva, service, transcendental knowledge will not reveal itself in the heart. So what is it? What is necessary for us to receive transcendental knowledge? Did you hear?
Service and surrender.
First?
Surrender.
Yes. Then?
Service.
One in between. There's 3. Inquiry. Otherwise, transcendental knowledge will not reveal itself in the heart. When a student is a little qualified in this way and finds a guru who is a qualified teacher, the student must surrender to him. Ask him questions and serve him. So we hear also, before that time, before we have not found a guru yet, we have still some time to inquire, to, that is not the time that you are so fixed yet in, this is my guru. But if you have found the guru, then you surrender, then you inquire, and you serve the guru. So there's a time before that we still have time to search for who is the real guru for me. Everything will be revealed in the heart of the qualified sincere seeker by the qualified guru when the disciple is enriched with these three qualities of surrender, inquiry, and service, enriched with a mood of devotion. When that mood is present, everything will be set right. The guru's heart will be melted by that student's sincere approach, and the guru will be ready to teach the student. By this process, the student will understand, through the melted heart of his guru, the essence of all the scriptures, everything that is to be found within the Vedas, Vedanta, Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the other scriptures. This is how we should try to learn the scriptures. Spiritual experts, we can see that the scriptures themselves always advise us about the position and necessity of the proper teacher, the sadhu. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami advises us, Yaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavera Stane. Go to a Vaishnava, the devotee, and hear from him the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Only read Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of the Vaishnavas. Without the Vaishnavas, we cannot understand the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we will undoubtedly proceed in the wrong direction. It is necessary to hear the explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam or any scripture from some expert. Only when we hear from an expert can we understand the real meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Our knowledge is very limited. Nobody can say, I am full with all knowledge. Even Srila Guru Maharaj told us, I'm a student. You consider yourself masters? I consider myself to be a student, and all of you to be students. Nobody is a master. It was Srila Guru Maharaj's conception that we are all students. Therefore, we must try to understand what our lessons are from a proper teacher. Through one who understands the essence of the lessons we are to learn, we can easily understand what our lessons are. It is very difficult to understand otherwise. We may make wrong interpretations, not understanding the real meaning of the scriptures, and we may be deceived. It is necessary to hear the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam from a proper interpreter and servitor of Krishna, like Srila Guru Maharaj. Srimad Bhagavatam itself has given two formulas for understanding Srimad Bhagavatam. One prescribes reading Srimad Bhagavatam and the other prohibits reading Srimad Bhagavatam. If someone suddenly opens Srimad Bhagavatam and follows what comes in front of them, then they will proceed in the wrong way. It is necessary to harmonize the whole of Srimad Bhagavatam's conception. And who can harmonize it? Only one who knows the fundamental basis and full meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many things written in the scriptures, and they are no doubt very good things. But because we have limited knowledge, we can also easily misunderstand the words of the scriptures. We must discuss the scriptures with a sadhu to clarify that we are understanding the scriptures properly. The Lord himself explains in Srimad Bhagavatam, discussions about me heard in the association of my pure devotees, nourish your ears and hearts. They fill your souls with ecstasy. Only when someone proceeds in their spiritual life under the guidance of my devotees will they naturally develop proper faith, attachment, and devotion. What is written in books and what is heard directly from the sadhu are two completely different things. What we may read or hear outside the association of the sadhu is not rit, karma, rasa, ya, mukarti, nectarian words which nourish our hearts and fill us with ecstasy. Only when we hear from the sadhu are we receiving something in the proper channel, receiving something descending down from Goloka Vrindavan through the hearts of our parampara gurus, which is perfect and necessary for our spiritual life. Only when we hear in the proper channel from the sadhu is there a transmission of the power which reveals the essence of the scripture's words in our hearts. We are given real entrance into what we hear in the scriptures by the sadhu. Following the great souls, Yudhishthira Maharaj was a wise man. He was very qualified and had studied so many scriptures, the Vedas, Vedanta, Upanishads, and so on. He also received much advice from various rishis and munis. But after studying so many things, he was puzzled and could not find a settled position. Everything is good, everything is bad. It is good, it is bad. It is good, it is bad. It is good, it is bad. Yudhishthira Maharaj would not conclude what was the proper way to get relief from the illusory environment and become established in a clean position. Lastly, he could only conclude that anyone who tries to discover what religion is simply by reading the scriptures will become crazy. So sometimes we see that devotees who, are by themselves, chanting by themselves, reading by themselves, practicing Krishna consciousness by themselves. And, sometimes there's even a time that is, we cannot change that, but that hankering inside our heart, in our soul, to always find the association of a sadhu and the devotees. In the absence of a sadhu, the devotees can also help us with, engaging in service, reading the scriptures together, chanting, glorifying the Lord and the gurus together. So, to not be too nonchalant about it, I can read the scripture, I can chant by myself, that is not advised in our Guru Parampara and by our Gurudev. And we just read it. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "We cannot take the advice of the Vedas directly. Our store of knowledge is very limited, and the knowledge given in the Vedas is very vast. The Vedas explain pratyaksha jnana, sensory knowledge, paroksha jnana, collective knowledge, aparoksha jnana, subtle knowledge, and adoksha jnana, transcendental knowledge. Also the rishis who describe Vedic knowledge present many different interpretations of it and are not always perfect. Parasar Rishi presented one conception, Vasishta Rishi presented another, Chiyanvan Rishi presented another, and so on. There are so many rishis, and they presented many different conceptions. Thus the jiva souls become confused. They do not find the truth, but only the scriptures, the differing opinions of the rishis and their own minds. To find the proper conception, we must follow the path of the Mahajans, the great souls, in whose hearts the truth is living. And I think we all realize that we see so many so-called spiritual practices, transcendental knowledge in the world, and we can really appreciate our connection with the Guru Parampara, as in the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math, by established by Srila Sridhar Maharaj, then Srila Govinda Maharaj, and the acharyas of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math, that this is very, very fine and the highest truth, and there is no haziness in it. There is the advices are bringing us to a very clean conception of this vast Vedas and the Upanishad and the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, because we see in the world so many different conceptions about spiritual knowledge, about even Krishna consciousness, and this exclusive line, we hear exclusive is the word. This is our very, very good fortune. You know that Guru Maharaj calls it like we can thank our lucky stars. You heard that before? No? Kat, you heard that before? We can thank our lucky stars that we have come into this association of beautiful gurus, of the Guru Parampara. I think I stop here because we have a lot of service to do. Pandita, some conclusions?
No.
Okay. Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sita Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai. Revealed Truth ki
Jai.
Jai. Srila Gurudev Sthirobhav Mahamotsav ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Srimati Sachi Didi ki Jai.
Hari Raya?
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama.
Hari Raya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Shavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Krishnavaya Nama. Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Namo. Sisi Guru Guranga Radha Giridhara Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Niyamalacharya Maharaj Ki. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Sri Acharya Vrinda Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki. Jai Om Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki. Jai Sri Rupa Nuga Gurvaka Ki. Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Jai Prem Gosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Kaladara Sivasadi Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Jaya Sri Rupa Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha Sri Jiva Kupala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Ki. Jaya Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kundakiri Govardhan Ki. Jai Sudha Bhakti Vigna Vinyasa Sini Sini Dev Ki. Jai Bhakti Prabhat Malak Maharaj Ki. Jai Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki. Jai Ganga Yamuni Ki. Jai Grantaraji Mad Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki. Jai Sri Navadvip Dham Ki. Jai Sri Mayapur Dham Ki. Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Jai Sri Purushottama Dham Ki. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Jo Ki. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Ki. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat West London Chapter Ki. Samanta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Samanta Vaishnava Mandala Ki. Jai Harinath Sankirtan Ki. Jai Srila Guru Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki. Jai Srila Gurudev's Divine Disappearance Day Ki. Gaur Premanande.